Good morning. It's another week of vlogging. I'm really excited, to vlog. I'm really not excited that the month is going by so quickly. The weekend just flew by. So this past weekend I attempted and did not do so well on a 24 readathon of the Iliad. Today I'm starting the book covered book club week of focus on my books that have yellow covers, which I'm really excited about. I'm gonna be reading Yajasi's Homegoing, and this one I plan on starting today. And my goal is to read 120 pages a day of this and this so that I can get them done by Saturday, because I'm starting a day late. The book cover book club's focus week started yesterday. So if you don't know anything about this group, it was created by Caitlin Eve over at the Lit Review, and I highly recommend checking out her channel. I adore her channel. And I also thought this was a fun group. There's no real big expectations on this. You know, it's sort of like the Whateverathon in the sense that there's a theme and then you can decide to focus on that theme during 1 week of the month, or you can read whatever you can for that theme throughout the whole month. Because I was so excited about this month getting back into regular reading, I figured it would be fun to try and focus on my yellow covered books for 1 whole week. So the theme is bright yellow covered books, and it doesn't necessarily mean the whole cover has to be bright yellow, it just means it has to have bright yellow on the cover. Since I was supposed to read these in previous TBRs, I figured I better get them read. I've heard so many good things about Homegoing. I've heard so many things about the Gilded Ones, and I'm ready. So as far as what else I'm doing, still doing Boxofficeathon. Antonisha was not kind this week, and I'm gonna show you her spins.
Let's go ahead and get started with roll number 1. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have another mystery thriller. Okay, let's see. Shaking. See what prompt we get. There it is. Favorite author.
For that first one, I cried uncle and I said, okay, I need a little help because I'm struggling to get through the many books I have this month. So what I'm gonna do, and it's just totally cheating, but it's what I'm gonna do, is I picked up, or I'm getting, The Running Man. It's a movie based off Stephen King's book, The Running Man. And I'm picking it up from the library and I'm gonna watch that because it's a thriller and it's from one of my favorite thriller authors, which is Stephen King. And I haven't read that story before, but it's not one where I'm like, oh, I need to make sure I read the book first. Cheating, yes. Am I too concerned about it? No. Here's the second prompt.
We are going to do roll number 2, which will hopefully be our last roll. And we rolled a 4. So it is not our last roll. We have now added an extra roll for those of you that are playing hard with me. So we have an extra roll, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we landed on a flop. It says your newest science fiction film is in danger because of an actor's strike. Penalty, no penalty. Since it is a feature-length cartoon, you don't care, but we have to roll again. So 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have an impersonation, which means we are going to do the spinner wheel for my TBR, and you can randomize your TBR however you want to.
So because Antonisha said I need to randomize my TBR, I was decided I wasn't going to randomize my whole TBR, my physical TBR here at home. So I'm gonna go with these 5 because I really want to read these this month, but I also know I have too many other books to read. So I think I can do 1. And this is Aristotle and Dante, Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Then we've got Tell Me How You Really Feel, and this one is a lot like Gilmore Girls. Then we've got King and the Dragonflies by Kaysen Callender. We have The Weight of the Stars by Kay Ankrum. Then finally we have Wild Beauty by Anne-Marie McLemore. And so I'll just go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll randomize those 5 and see what I'm gonna get. 2 is Tell Me How You Really Feel, which I'm actually really excited about because Mom had mentioned, she's read all these this month, so she mentioned that this one by Amina May Safi is very much like Gilmore Girls. I'm actually really excited about this one because I kind of need some light reading this month. I have a lot of things going on book-wise that are a lot more heavy, so I'm excited about something that's light and fun. I've been wanting to read a romance, really wanting to read a romance. And for these Boxofficeathon prompts, no romances have come up yet, Antonisha. Hey, this has bright yellow on the cover too. this might be a good week to read this in. Depending on how quickly I can get through these two, maybe I'll plop into this one as well, because look at that. I didn't realize it has a whole bunch of bright yellow on the cover. It works out perfectly. I could read this on the plane, because I was thinking, like, on my way to New Orleans, I want to read something that's light and fun, because, you know, on vacation, I think you should be reading light and fun stuff. Yeah, you don't have to, but I want to, because I've been on too many vacations where I brought really heavy books with me, and then I'm on this vacation that's wonderful, and I'm like, oh, life is so rough. So I might read this on Saturday, and that will still count. That will still count for the book cover book club. How exciting. Okay, well, this was great. And then let's check out that third roll.
So we are on to roll number 3, which will hopefully be our final roll this week. We have an 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we have a fantasy, which is good because I have lots of fantasy. Let's see what our prompt is. We're going to be reading a tome over 500 pages.
Okay, so that third roll is a tome, adult fantasy, or fantasy in general. And I'm going to be reading The Ship of Magic this month by Robin Hobb. And that has yellow on it too. What the heck? This is turning out great. Okay, so I am 85% of the way through Assassin's Quest. So in the next couple of days, I've been reading it before I go to bed. The next couple of days, I'm gonna get this book done, and then I can start on Ship of Magic, because I'm gonna have to definitely read a little bit of this every day, maybe a lot of this every day to get it done. This is 809 pages. So it's a tome. It's definitely a tome. So that's it for my Boxofficeathon. And then for Whatever You Want-a-thon, I finished my 5th book of the month out of my goal of 12, and that was Medea. So go ahead and check out my 24-hour chaotic Trash My TBR readathon. If you want to know my points so far, what I've gotten Whatever You Want-a-thon, check that out. I will be updating my points for Whatever You Want-a-thon here as I read more books. Today's a work day. I need to work on a video that I'm creating for my department. I work at outreach for natural resources. So I'm working on a water resources video. And these videos are for the kids, mostly intentionally for the students at the tribal school, but also for the community. We share them on our community page, and it's been kind of fun for them to be able to see some of the things that our natural resources department's doing. It's coming out really well, so let's hope it does. And then also I need to edit my April wrap up. I decided to split up my wrap ups because I'm just having such a hard time getting things going right now with June. Like, for one, it's flying by, and 2, my brain is still struggling from my last week of school. So I'm trying to be easy on myself. And then what else am I doing today? 120 pages of this, working on Assassin's Quest, and I'm in exercise clothes. I need to get back into some semblance of a routine because I have not exercised in a while, which I'm not usually this bad. So it's time. It's time. I've got to do laundry. I have so much laundry that needs to be done before our trip. Oh, and I need to build a little bookcase. We don't have very many bookcases, as I've said, so we have a ton of books lying around the house and that are overflowing because we don't have anywhere to put them. One, I haven't put them in my Goodreads, like, books I own thing yet, but also we just don't really have anywhere to set them down. So I bought that cardboard thing. That is a little bookshelf to go in that area that I bought like a couple months ago. Okay, a month ago maybe. Haven't put it together. So my goal today is to do that, and I will show you what that looks like. I just need some organization in my life, and things need to start getting clean because they didn't clean themselves while I was in school for some reason. I don't understand this. Where are my little elves? They're supposed to come in and clean while I'm asleep. Okay, 27-minute workout done. It's nice to have that done for the day. Now I'm cooling off by taking Cece outside, so good workout. And while I'm out here, I'm gonna listen to the Iliad, which, like, as much as I was enjoying the audiobook, it just felt like such a chore yesterday when I was doing my little 24-hour readathon. So I hope that today I'm refreshed. Starting the day out right with a really healthy breakfast and my coffee and the Cece and my naked book. So I'm starting homegoing. But yeah, it's not yellow when it's naked. I don't remember where I got this book, but it's signed by Yajasi. Okay, I did a little reading. I'm about 16 pages in. I'm a slow reader. I'm such a slow reader. I'm about 16 pages in, and at this point, we're meeting Effia, and she's this young girl who is part of this Fonte village. She's known for being born on the day of this great fire, but her mother cannot stand her and just beats her and is terrible. And then, of course, because her mother beats her, her father beats her mother. So then she just beats her daughter more. So like, it's like this horrible cycle. It's the 1700s, late 1700s. And there's a lot of British colonialists that are coming in and out of the village and doing trade with the village. And the mother wants to get rid of Effia. So she's Effia, I think it's Effia. And so she's trying to make sure that once she hits puberty, instead of marrying the chief of the village, Effia has to marry one of the British colonists. And therefore, she won't be there anymore to bother her mom because her mom just can't stand her. It's, yeah, it's sad. You know, just the lack of freedom women had. Obviously, this is an issue that women still face. But yeah, it's tough to read because this poor young girl just doesn't even really understand much. She knows what she wants, but it doesn't matter what she wants because she doesn't have any choice in the matter. The starting of a book always is a little slower for me. Whenever I start the beginning of a book, it takes me a little longer to get into it. So once I'm into it, hopefully it will be fast going. But so far, as far as I can tell, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying learning about this family, and the writing is good. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so it's 6 p.m. I ended up accomplishing a lot today. I'm on page 39 of Homegoing, so I'm a slow reader. It's been becoming more and more apparent to me that I'm a slow reader, but that's okay because I enjoy the books that I do get to read. At this point, we have just met Essie. So we had talked about Effia in the first part of it. Now we're meeting Essie, who we're finding out is actually Effia's half-sister. And so where Essia was married to one of the slave traders that was running the castle, Essie is one of the people that are enslaved down in the bottom of the castle. And this is a very, very hard subject to read about. But it's really well written and I'm enjoying the characters. You can tell that this book is going to be a series of legacies, and I tend to like those kind of books. Like I really loved 100 Years of Solitude because, you know, you learn from generation to generation. I like those kind of books. I like hearing about what happens down family lines. But right now it's time to make some dinner. So I'm going to make lemon butter tilapia. So that'll be good. Nice and easy. And what else did I do? Had a phone call with Danielle, who's booked Kara on YouTube, and we're going to be doing read-along soon. So we'll be putting an announcement up soon in the beginning of July, so keep an eye for that. And what else? Got my video for work done. Did some laundry. Feeling productive today. Feeling very productive today.
See if something happened here.
So there is my new bookshelf. It's still got all the little foamy things on it, so I'll have to clean that off, but I think it'll hold quite a few books. Yeah, looking good. And this is where my little fish tank's gonna be once I finally get it set up. And all our pins, because we're Disney nerds. But yeah, I like it. I'm excited. It'll help me get a little more organized with the books. Okay, so I've made it to page 69. My goal was 120. Didn't quite happen. I'm getting tired. And I do want to read Assassin's Quest a bit before going to bed tonight. So the way this story seems to be working is that each chapter is about a different character. The first chapter is about Effia, the next one's Essie, then it's about Effia's son, and then I'm thinking the next one's going to be about Essie's child. It's a girl, Ness. It looks like you're moving through the generations in each chapter. Each chapter is a whole new story based off that individual's experience. And of course, the family, the parents are tied in, like their mothers are tied in their story. But it's really about that one person. I'm really liking that format a lot. I like that way of moving through the timeline. This chapter on Effia's son was just devastating. I mean, like, the chapter on Essie was the most devastating because that was her experience being sold into slavery. This chapter with Kui, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, is Quey. It was difficult because from a very young age, he understood that his sexuality was different than everybody else's. And unfortunately, where he lived, when he lived, it wasn't okay. So, yeah, it was really just heartbreaking. And every single section of this has been heartbreaking so far. And I have a feeling that every single section going forward is going to continue to be heartbreaking. So, I mean, it's beautifully done. Very, very important story. Very difficult subjects to go into depth in. Good morning. I have little energy today. I ended up sleeping late and just struggling with energy today. So my plan is to do some yoga. I've got a few things I need to do today, and then I'd like to get that one video edited, my April wrap edited and posted. I read more of Assassin's Quest last night, so I made it to about on page 670 something, so I'm like 89% of the way through, so I'm getting close. That one's almost done, and then I can start Shipping Magic, because that one's like 800 and something pages, so I definitely don't want to put that one off too late in the month. Just, it's good. Something happened that I really enjoyed so far. Like, this book hasn't been my favorite of the three. Hasn't been bad. Like, none of Robin Hobb is bad. They've been just traveling here and there, and just there's not been a lot of things actually happening, or at least maybe I just wanted a little more action because it's the third book in the trilogy. But I'm sure at the end there's going to be a lot that's happening. It's a comfortable read, just the way it's written. It's very easy to sit with it and just go through page after page and enjoy the reading process of Robin Hobb's books. Right now I'm just trying to get some energy. Coffee would be a good thing. We might go and get donuts because we're bad girls and need a little pick-me-up. This little one has had way too much energy today, and she's driving me bonkers because she is like, hey, play, I want to jump on the play. And I'm like, oh, stop. For some reason, I'm always drawn to the blueberry donuts. What'd you get?
A giant bear claw. Look at the toes.
It's huge. All right, so it's late into the evening, and I haven't done too much filming today just because it was just one of those days where I didn't end up doing as much as I normally would because I wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't. But I did end up reading quite a bit. So I'm about 150 pages into Homegoing, and I'm realizing I've read this book at some point. I don't know why at the beginning it wasn't very clear. I obviously have forgotten a lot of it, but like as I'm reading these different sections, I'm like, I know what's gonna happen next. Because at some point I read this book before. So I don't know when. I don't know what I thought about it back then. It would have been a long time ago. Maybe when I was in high school. But I'm having a hard time putting it down. In fact, I'm putting it down so I can pick up Assassin's Quest, which I've been enjoying. So it's not like I don't want to pick up Assassin's Quest, but I'm really I'm pulled into Homegoing. So I am finishing uploading a video. It's taken a long time because I had to like edit something and then re-upload it, which is always fun, having to delete and re-upload. But that should be done soon. That'll come out tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Wow, it's already the 16th. It's gonna be the 16th tomorrow. So it's just been one of those days where I haven't got as much accomplished as I normally would want to. And I'm just trying to not be so hard on myself, because being hard on myself is something I'm very good at, and feeling like I haven't accomplished enough is something I tend to get hard on myself for. So I kind of, just I've been enjoying reading tonight. So that's really all I feel like doing. So that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to see you tomorrow. And so hopefully I'll have made it further into Assassin's Quest, and this video will go up and everything will be great. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning. I am finishing up Assassin's Quest. I'm so close to being done. I'm about like 30 or 40 pages left. Interesting. It's interesting. Where it's gone is not what I ever would have expected. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it continues to go. I'm listening to Future of the Mind by Michio Kaku because I was talking to Shell about the Iliad the other day and how I'm struggling with it. And not that I'm not enjoying it, because I'm enjoying elements to it, but how it's just been a struggle. And I think that I'm trying to speed through it too quickly. And for how I like to enjoy books like that, I need to take my time. And I need to be able to look up different names that I'm finding in the book. It's one of those books that I need to do some back history searching on, because then I think I'll enjoy it more, especially because there is so much name dropping. And Shell's like, I don't think any of these names are names you can find, that I'll be able to find much on it, but I need to be able to try, because I want to know more about the people that Homer is describing. And that's a problem, because like he just names all these people and he gives like a little bit of details about them, but not much. So part of me wants to see the bigger picture, I guess, because I'm a big picture sort of person. So I don't like to just know individual names. The details are not as important to me as understanding where they're, like where these names are in context of everything else. And then like also when he's describing all the places they're from, I want to look up historically what these places were and then be able to look at them on a map to understand where everybody was coming from. And I know that seems like a lot of work, but for me to be able to enjoy a book like the Iliad, I need to do that work. So it's going to be a book that takes me a while to read. And I'm okay with that, because, I've got a lot of other things to read and I can just chip away at this a little bit at a time. I don't need to read the Iliad right away. It's on the trash my TBR, but as long as I've started it, it's off my Goodreads TBR want to read list. So I think it counts. In the meantime, I do need to listen to The Future of the Mind, because I need to get that book done before July 8th, which is my nonfiction book club event. And so listening to it right now is working out. And the introduction was by Michio Kaku, which I really enjoyed. He has so much enthusiasm and he's got such excitement when it comes to his science. I love that. It always makes it more exciting. And I see why I'm so interested in his writing, because his own level of thrill and excitement is attractive to me. So then I wish the rest of the book was narrated by him. It's not. It's narrated by somebody else. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying learning about the brain, because this first part is just talking about the different parts of the brain, what we know about the different sections of the brain. And I find that really interesting. It's just that I really liked Michio Kaku's introduction with him narrating. And I'm like, gosh, I wish he had narrated his own book. Take my spot, little miss. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? That's my spot. All right, so I have finished my, what is this, 6th book of the month? Yeah, I'm halfway to my 12 book mark for Whateverathon, which is super exciting. Woohoo! So I finally finished Assassin's Quest, and I don't know how I'm going to rate this book. So this is what I'm gonna have to think about. Robin Hobb books in general have so much going on, and you're really just transported into this world where you get pretty deep into a lot of these characters' personalities and whatnot. And it's hard to say, this book overall, like I said before, there was a lot of traveling, and so it felt like I wasn't bored the whole time reading it, but there wasn't a ton of action. But in the last 50 pages, when there is a ton of action, it's so good. The action is so good that it brought tears to my eyes. So it's hard to rate something like this, because I mean, she sure knows how to give you those those climaxes. I mean, that's why Royal Assassin ended up being 5 stars for me, was because the ending was just so good. I mean, I loved the rest of Royal Assassin, but the ending was so good as well that it knocked it up to 5 stars for me easily. So I've got a lot of thinking about this. So let me tell you how many points this is gonna be. So first, starting out, it's gonna be 100 points because it's one of the books towards my goal of 12. And then it's also gonna be an extra 1,000 points because I have reached the halfway mark. And when you reach the halfway mark, you get an extra 1,000 points. So that's fantastic. As far as prompts go, I would definitely say that this was a 5-star prediction. I probably would have said all of Robin Hobb's books were 5-star predictions. Would I say that about this? Yeah, I probably would have said that. Then I would say that it was hauled in the past year. And then it's also a buddy read, so I'll get 75 points for those 3 prompts. And then also I'm gonna get 50 points for this because it's a host fave. This is one of Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction's favorite series. So this book has gotten me a lot of points, which I'm really excited about. I can't wait to talk about it some more with Shell, and keep an eye out for that coming out in when it comes out. It's a beautiful afternoon. It was nice to sit outside and read. At this point, I haven't done any reading of Homegoing because I was so excited about getting this one almost done that I've been reading that. And I was working on a work video, which I'm trying to get finished. Wow, and it's already 6 p.m. Where did the day go? Okay, so I don't know what the plans are for tonight. Oh, I know what we're doing. Yes. We're gonna be watching Persuasion. So Mom and I had both read Persuasion by Jane Austen, and we wanted to watch the adaptations because those are adaptations I haven't seen yet. So we're gonna be watching the older one, which I got from the library. The newer one I got from the library as well, but it didn't come in yet. And I think that's the plan for the evening. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of Homegoing read as well. And now that I've finished Assassin's Quest, it's going to be time to start the Ship of Magic, which is actually perfect because this will also work for the book cover book club because it's got yellow on the cover, bright yellow. But this is a 5-star prediction as well. This is actually the whole reason I wanted to read the Realm of the Elderling series in general, was the Ship of Magic, the 3 books in the Ship of Magic. I was most excited about these. And, you know, not to say that these weren't amazing, but these are the ones I was like, I wanted to start the whole series so I could read these. I hope I love them as much as I think I'm going to love them, but you never know. Whole new set of characters. Good morning. It is Thursday, and I think I made it to 180 something in, what book was I reading? Homegoing. And I'm really confused about this book. And the reason I'm really confused about it is not because of the book. I'm confused because I've read this book, but I don't have any record of reading it. I don't know where I actually got the physical book. Did I buy it originally when I read it for the first time? But I never marked it on my Goodreads, and I'm usually pretty good about marking books on my Goodreads, which makes me think maybe I read it for school because I was going to college, get my bachelor's a few years ago. Time is flying. The other thing is that I was like, oh, well, maybe I read this back in high school because it's taken me a while to remember that I remembered this book. And so I was thinking, okay, maybe I read it back in high school. Gives my brain enough time to say, you know, I forgot everything. Here's the thing. It was written in 2016. So basically what that means is I've read it sometime in the past 5 years, and I'm losing my memory. And that's disturbing because it took me like 3 chapters. And I mean, the chapters in this book are long. They're all individual stories. It took me like 80 so pages into this to realize that I've read it before. So I'm now existential crisis. I am losing my memory. That's great. I touch my chin a lot when I talk on the camera. I don't know why. I don't think I touch my chin a lot when I'm not talking on camera. So it's like a nervous camera tick. I've also noticed that I've got a nervous camera tick. I'm not even nervous, but it's like something when I'm talking on the camera. I do this. I play with my nose, but not like picking it. Just like, and then I do the chin thing. And then I talk with my hands. Like, I don't think I talk with my hands in real life as much as I do on camera either. So weird, interesting little Amy. As I go back and I edit all these videos, I'm like, why do I do that? Why do I always... And then, like, that's how you get pimples on your chin, by touching it all the time. Like, what's going on, Amy? What else do I do? I do other things. I do a lot of weird things, which I get to learn about myself as I'm editing. Like, I say certain things. I say, you know, a lot. Like, you know. I say, And I edit out so many ands. I actually don't say and as much as I would have thought. I do say but like not as much as I would have thought, considering that's a pretty common. Nice, Amy, that was good. I'm just going off on a random tangent this morning. I'm waiting for my coffee to steep, so that's why. Editing Amy here. I had a really weird transition, but I was talking about homegoing here. There's so much heart in this, even though it's subjects that are so difficult. You're getting to know these characters really well, even characters that are not the warmest of people because they've gone through such horrific things. Their individual stories touch you so much. They really do. And so I'm really enjoying that. And hopefully I won't take too much longer reading that, because then I need to start the Gilded ones and this and that, and I've got a ton of books to read. I haven't got my hair cut, colored, anything like that in over a year. I mean, my hair takes like a long time to grow. So, you know, otherwise for most people it would be like down to their butts if they hadn't done it in a year and a half or something. So I haven't got my hair done probably a year and a half. And so it's time. I'm going on vacation this weekend. It's time to look beautiful. So I'm so excited, and we'll see how that looks. I want to get some highlights because it's summertime and I want to look fun and beachy, and that's it. Like, that's the plan for today. I need to keep doing laundry and getting clothes folded and then start packing because we're leaving soon. Today's Thursday. Today is Thursday. That means tomorrow. We're leaving tomorrow. Like, we're heading down to Seattle tomorrow. So I need to get my shit together. Okay, there's the haircut, but the color hasn't been done yet. Something's happening. So I'm a blonde again. It's been a while, and I don't normally curl my hair, but Rocio did, and it looks amazing. Good morning, it's Friday, meaning it's the day we're leaving for, well, we're leaving for New Orleans tomorrow morning at 5:20, but we're going to go down to Seattle tonight and spend the night so that, you know, when we have to get up at 3 in the morning to get to the airport, it's not driving 2 hours from where we are. So that should be fun. I stayed up really late trying to finish a work project so that today I could focus on a lot of my errands that I need to run. We have to drop Cece off, which is going to be sad because we're going to miss our little girl. And then our neighbors are watching Isaac, so he usually just stays here. It's not a problem. Isaac's the cat, just in case you're wondering. We're hoping to head out around 4. I didn't get too much reading done yesterday. Like I said, I was working on that work thing, and I got that done. And then I started reading Homegoing a little bit more. I got to like page 200 and something, and I'm still really enjoying it. I am noticing that I connected to the characters better towards the beginning, like the first 4 or 5 characters, and now there's a mosquito right here. Now towards the, oh, there's my mom. Look at her. Hello, creeper creeping through the woods. And now towards the end, I'm liking the characters, but I'm not connecting as much as I did in the beginning. So it's still fantastic though. Homegoing is fantastic. Ship of Magic, when I started it yesterday, but I got like 4 pages in. That was it. I'm listening to Future of the Mind right now, which I'm really enjoying. It's just that since I'm listening to it on an audiobook, because there's so much information and it's all very technical, there's points that I'm less interested in that I kind of start tuning out a little bit. And I think if I was reading it physically, I wouldn't be doing that as much, but I'm still getting what I need out of it. And I still really enjoy the parts that are very interesting to me, because I think it's all based off of the areas of science you're most interested in. Of course, the areas that are more biology based are the ones that I'm most excited about. So that's my update for the morning. It's going to be a bit of a busy day getting things ready. I will touch back in a bit. Vacation! Woo! So we're on our way to Seattle, and then we're gonna spend the night there, and tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning, we'll be flying out. We stopped off at the outlets to try on some stuff.
Is that what you do at outlets? You get
Yeah,
stuff?
I know.
We've already got some stuff already. All right, so we've checked into our just for the night place. We're staying at like a Super 8. Yeah, it's already late, so we have to get up at 3 in the morning, so we're probably not gonna stay up too long. I listened to Future of the Mind a little bit today. I think I'm about 20% into that one, so haven't gotten very far. I'm learning a lot, it's interesting. And then I'm gonna read a little bit of Homegoing before I go to bed. So I'm getting close to being finished with this one. I'd like to finish it so that I could start on another book tomorrow, because tomorrow's the last day of Book Cover Book Club Focus Week. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how much sleep we get. And tomorrow is Louisiana Day. All right, we're here at 4:25. How you feeling? Wide awake?
So far, yeah.
All right, so we're in Denver now, and we're getting some breakfast. I got the rocket, which has eggs and stuff. That's where we're headed. Woohoo! Where's your luggage?
Denver.
And where are we?
We're in New Orleans.
First New Orleans meal is Five Guys, because Amy was starving and that was the nearest thing, and I had to eat or else I was gonna get sick. All right, so we just checked in. Look, there's the mom, and this is our little kitchenette, and there's a fold-out bed that Chell and Nathaniel are gonna stay in on there, and the room. This is the living room. Then there's Amy. Hello. Here's the bathroom. Looks like there's just a shower. And the master bedroom. And we get this room because we're the old people. And then there's the view. We're in New Orleans. We're in New Orleans. You can barely see, look, you can see the bridge over there. Yeah. Then there's this cool thing. I don't know what that is. And this is St. Charles Street, I think. That's it. Okay, so it turns out that this building used to be at the top of the Eiffel Tower, and it was a restaurant that was at the top of the Eiffel Tower, but it was too heavy, so they eventually in 1981 took it apart piece by piece, and they wanted to put a lighter restaurant on the top of the Eiffel Tower. So then it ended up making its way to New Orleans. The French chef came here, they built it up, and he started a restaurant in 1986 because of financial pressure when, you know, they closed the restaurant in 3 years. And then ever since then, they've been trying to put other things in there. Nightclubs, bars, things like that. And there was recently an event space / museum in there, and that closed down also. So it's a cursed building. It's a cursed building, but it's really cool looking. And who knows what they're planning on doing with it next. Okay, so I finished my 7th book for Whateverathon and the month in general, and this was, I guess, the only book I finished for the Book Cover Book Club, because I haven't started any of the others except I read 4 pages of A Ship of Magic. So, I mean, at least I got Homegoing done. Fantastic book, of course, and I'm still pretty sure I've read this. As far as points go, since it's my 7th book, it is still within my goals, so I get 100 points for that. It'll count for 3 of the prompts. It counts for author's debut, because this is Yajasi's debut novel, and then person of color representation, and then there was one more. Oh, it was another booktuber's best list, because this was on Liz from For Booking Out Loud's top books of 2020. It ends out perfectly, like you understand the whole concept of homegoing. I really enjoyed the stories at the end. Like I was saying, there were a couple of stories in the middle that I didn't connect quite as well with, but they were still great stories in bringing together this whole legacy of this family line. And then also understanding how this history is such a precedence for the issues and the struggles that we currently see Black Americans have in our country, and how racism became so systemic. So I thought it was fantastic. I am looking forward to reading Yajasi's next book, Transcendent Kingdoms. And yeah,
I'm excited to be done with the book cover book club. I might try and start the romance, like just start it, but that's probably gonna be it because we have to go pick up Shell and Nathaniel from the airport soon, and we're gonna go out and get dinner at midnight once they get here and get a couple of drinks, really celebrate New Orleans. Back at the airport again. Pick up Shell and Nathaniel. We're gonna see if Mom's luggage is here too. All right, here we are, New Orleans. And we're on our way to Bourbon Street so we can eat at Mambo's. I think it's Mambo's. So we'll see. Drink, yes, drink. Sazerac. Mom got a Mambo Teeny. Shell, what'd you get?
Bourbon Street Flash.
And we got some crawfish poutine, which looks good. Look at the big pieces of crawfish on there. Mambo's oyster, something special.
And it's still boiling.
Yeah, look at it. Shell doesn't want oysters. I got crab cakes. Nathaniel got the carnival pasta. How do you think of that, Nathaniel? And Shell got no seafood. And Mom's sharing. She's still working on the oysters. Okay, so it is like 3 in the morning. Almost 3 in the morning. And we just got back to our timeshare. Shell and Nathaniel are here with us. We had fun checking out Bourbon Street. And we had a good dinner. We were starving and we just inhaled everything, basically. That's it for now. I am working on like 2.5, maybe 3 hours of sleep. Well, it's probably... With the plane ride, it was probably like 3 to 4 hours of sleep. So I'm tired. I'm gonna close out this vlog. I had a wonderful time doing the book covered book club. The only yellow covered book I finished was Homegoing by Yajasi, but what an amazing book to read this week. And I just started telling me how you really feel, and I'm looking forward to reading this because, you know, this is a fun vacation book. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe now so you can see what happens in our trip to New Orleans. Thank you very much. Bye.